Hello and welcome to another episode of Roots and Resilience, a leadership podcast by DBNC where we have conversations about leadership. We hope that these conversations build insightful and engaging perspectives as we journey in our lives. My name is Christian Fox, and today we are joined by a very special guest, Fola. Fola, thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Are you?
I'm good. It's a Wednesday. Week has been going well.
Yeah.
It's raining, of course, but, not too bad. But it's really exciting for you to join us today because you work here at DBNC.
Absolutely.
And what kind of work do you do here to let the audience know?
Okay. I'm the housing support worker here at the DBNC. I support clients in application for housing, advocate for them when they have issues with their landlord, and also help them in housing search, affordable housing search, and more attention is focused on newcomers. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting and really important work that you're doing too, because like housing is a huge challenge that we're dealing with.
Crisis now that all hands on deck, and we do all what we need to do to make sure people have shelter.
Right, exactly. When you say crisis, what do you mean by that?
I think of recent, the number of houses available are not enough for the people, for those looking to get housed, especially with the increase in immigration and the cost of living, inflation, and all that, people losing their jobs. Then I think COVID set the pace and every other thing followed. So I don't think there are new houses being built, and subsidized houses are full, even limited shelters, no more transitional homes. So all those contributed to why we are having the housing crisis here in Canada generally, especially in GTA.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. And what do you see as some of the potential solutions to that problem?
Honestly, the major solution, it's if there are more houses and more shelters, transitional housing, there could be a great relief. And not additionally, if it is possible, like for the government to have a law in place for landlords to at least watch the way the house rent is skyrocketing. People, these days, because the way the rent is running so fast, some landlord come up and ask tenants to move out, they want to renovate or they want to sell, only for the tenant to realize that no, they're not renovating, they're not selling, but renting it out to somebody else. Yeah. So there should be proper legislation in place to checkmate all those. Then also recently we found out, like in most of the subsidized houses, people are there that are actually do not need to be there. Yeah. So when all those, little things are being watched and considered, there will be a lot of solution that could be derived from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And now, when you talk about people who say, "Oh, we're renovating," can you move out for a little bit? You can come back. Are you seeing that a lot in your cases that you're dealing with?
I've seen cases where tenants have letters from their landlords. Even some of them, the lease agreement is still ongoing, and the landlord just come up with, "Oh, I want to renovate." And as a tenant, you're wondering, what is there to renovate? But it's your house. And I know recently the Premier, Doug Ford, stated like if you're asking someone to move out, you're renovating. When you do that, that tenant is to come back. But if renovation is taking forever, where do you want the tenant to be? In the meantime, where are they supposed to be? Nowhere. So will they put their stuff in the storage and be on the street or be with families or where? So at the end of the day, the tenants do not have choice than to start looking. As of this moment, I have like 4 of them having had like, I want to renovate my house. And everybody knows that that's not true, So helping them to look for landlord discovery, like, okay, I gave it at a lower rate, I could do better, I could get more. So that's the case. We're still dragging. And I don't think, if you decide to even take it to a landlord-tenant board, it takes forever before they get back to them. So that's another problem. The bureaucratic system in them responding is...
Yeah, that's a huge challenge. I know they're really backed up with cases
Yeah.
because of COVID. So it's just like everything
too much
is taking...
backlog. So everything just reverse, took 360-degree backwards.
Yeah, because I know even in some of the cases I deal with, even though I don't generally deal with landlord-tenant issues, there are times where I have those concerns, and they want to mediate, but the other party doesn't want to, and then they have to go to landlord-tenant board, but they're backed up, so they can't really get their help right away.
No.
So, yeah, it's a huge problem, and
serious one.
And that's hard. What you say about renovations, because I imagine even when it's true, it can take a long time. Look, I'm currently doing that.
Yeah.
And it's taken me 6 months. Probably not going to be done for another 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's like, where are they supposed to go in that situation?
Yeah. Is the landlord providing like an alternative measure? Are they providing a place for the tenant to stay? No, they cannot do that. So it's contributing to so much homelessness now.
That sounds like a very complex set of situations when you're dealing with, especially in cases when you're dealing with a landlord who's not approachable.
Oh God, those sometimes I pray before calling I pray, because you don't know. Yes, oh hi, my name is Fola. I'm calling you from Dixie Bloor. Yes, what do you want? Nothing like hi back or how may I help you? They lost that politeness. They don't even care. And when you say, okay, I'm calling on behalf of a client here, is your tenant, what about that? Okay, this is the issue. Yeah, I've told them, I don't care. They have agreement. At a certain time, I can decide to ask them to leave. I can decide. You don't, no respect. You don't treat people with no atom of dignity at all. You feel you can just talk to them. Even the president, there was one I said, but you don't even know me, and look at the way you are sounding, and the next you just hang up. So if you need to be extremely patient to deal with landlords. Sometimes the tenants are the faulters. People need to understand the culture here. Even me, when I move here, I don't know how to pay rent monthly. We pay 1 year ahead in my country. We pay. But when
okay.
Yeah, it's 1 year. Sometimes you pay 2 years.
Wow, 2 years in advance.
So that you don't have your landlord coming to knock on your door, disturbing you for any other thing. Then when I got here and I wanted to rent, and they said, oh, you have to pay just 2 months. My husband was looking like, 2 months, why? So they say, yeah, first month and the last month. So he said, what about the other month? They say, oh, you pay monthly. I say, I will spend the money. They go like, no, you don't spend it, put it in the account. Then we just be withdrawing. But we insisted, and at the end of the day, when they saw, because it was an apartment, they collected. But when I moved to a townhouse, there I spoke to the landlord like, look, I want to pay ahead. Oh, no, in Canada, no, they don't do that. I said, I'm not, it's me. That's why I want to do it, right? But he did not. He only accepted 4 months. But, you do this kind of relief. Nobody's coming to ask you.
Right, yeah.
So many people are like me. They have that mentality. Why can't I just pay 1 year and you don't come back to knock on my door? So that's it. It's a big problem. Adjusting to new lifestyle, cultural shock. But when you get used to it, you get used to it. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it very well, cost of housing in the GTA is driving people nuts.
Yeah. The cost of housing is so expensive now.
Oh my God, you don't want to. How can somebody renting a room in a place inside a building is paying, I think, $1,500? Yeah, 1,500.
Yeah.
And that is the amount of 3 bedroom in Windsor. I'm telling you.
Oh, 3 bedroom in Windsor is
Yeah,
now.
four
Wow, it's
bedroom in
15.
Windsor is about 2,000.
Oh, and they're
Because
paying.
yeah, we have a partner that allowed, if we have anybody, she's a renter, if anyone wants to come through us, so they could waive all the credit checks, everything, especially for newcomers, just like the same way we did for the Ukrainians. So they were doing that, and but so many people don't want to go there. Oh no, there are no jobs. You can only get jobs in the GTA. I was like, who is feeding you all these things? I don't know where they get their information, but at the end of the day, it's their choice. You don't force people. Yeah, that's it. And you say this lack of spreading. Nobody wants to go outside. Everybody goes like, I have a connection here. My people are here. But if you live, where do you really have your people? Your country of origin. If you are not born in Canada, people like me, my community is back home. Really, people I grew up, people I knew, any other community, Nigerian community I know here, I met them here. I would have to start building the bonding, not like where I was coming from. But so many people don't understand that.
Yeah, right. You've highlighted a lot of the different challenges of being a newcomer and coming to a new
Oh my
country,
God.
new situation, even little things like rent. Like I didn't know that. I just assumed that everywhere in the world it's like, oh, in Canada it must like it's, once a month, not you pay by the year.
Oh,
So it's like, yeah, that's interesting to hear about that, like that cultural aspect.
yeah. And, when people are coming from a background where they don't even use credit card, they don't even know what that is. I usually like using myself because I don't know, I've never seen a credit card in my life when I was in Nigeria. I've never, if you see somebody driving a 2023 car, they pay cash. Everything you pay cash. We are used to cash. So you are now in a place where they will be asking you for credit score. You ask him, what's that?
Right, the credit score. Yeah.
You'll be wondering. So many people that I've even dealt with, especially those from Africa, they go like, where will I get that? So, and I have to say, well, you're new. That's the life here. Every part of Africa, no credit card. No. If there's anywhere that probably they may have credit card, will be South Africa. But every other part, no. No.
Yeah, I have a friend who's dealing with that issue who was, trying to rent, but she doesn't have a credit score. So
Yeah.
it was like hugely problematic.
It is. So
Yeah.
what in such situation, now kind of thought of a way that if there's always a problem, there should be a solution, right? What do you do? Considering the fact that I have been there and my uncle had to come to my rescue because everywhere I've been to, no, you can't rent because you don't have a credit score. I was wondering, which one's it? I said, I have even 1 year rent if you want it. No, 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 no. We need it for our documentation. We need to put them in our... I said, okay. So my uncle came to my rescue. So in that, now I tell people, okay, you want to rent, you don't have credit score, you don't have employment, you don't have any source of income. Do you have anybody that can co-sign for you? And if you are responsible, you should know that when somebody agrees to co-sign for you, you don't put them in trouble. You should pay your rent. But if you have questionable character, you know you're going to default. Don't put people in trouble. Leave them alone. So if you have someone that wants to rent and have somebody else that can co-sign, they're good to go. Landlords will take it. And again, the issue of OW, waiting for OW almost forever, some of them don't want it. Landlord don't want OW. They want employment later. Show me you have a job. What if tomorrow OW stops?
Right. Yeah.
How will I get my money? So it's somehow.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff and very complicated.
It is.
When you're dealing with all those levels of like not having credit score, having to co-sign, Ontario Works, all that stuff. But we were talking about newcomers, and one of the things I wanted to ask about that is, what is the actual process for newcomers to apply for housing or subsidized housing in Ontario, or
So
I think specifically Peel?
yeah, for Peel, you have to be, I think, 16 years above, 16 or 18 years above. Then you must be a Peel resident. You either be a Canadian, permanent resident, or refugee. Then that is someone that has been granted the refugee status. So, and you must not have a deportation order in place. And you you must have a source of income, because when you start the application or even the screening, if they ask you, do you have any source of income? If your answer is no, it automatically takes you to the link to apply for OW. So you must have an income, because the subsidized housing is not free. You still have to pay something, right? So when you meet all the requirements for that, then boom, you're good to go. Just go, you'll do the screening first. So once you're cleared, your screening is good, then immediately you get the intake form. So when you fill, that is where you have the comprehensive details to put in what you need. What they just adjusted the forms recently, and they have so many informations in there that affecting, or that answers people's questions. So when you do that, you also get a confirmation we received it. Someone will get back to you. So after getting that, we start praying for someone to get back. But the wait time, it's something that people don't want to hear, because you
Right.
hear sometimes you call the region, they're telling you you have 6 to 10 years to wait, and some people that are running from abusive relationship unfortunately have to be in that pool. Then priorities, though they are listed as priorities, but the topmost priority are those that are in kind of palliative care, have less than 2 years to die, unfortunately. So they are giving more high priority to stay. So that's how the process goes. And I think when it gets to the region, they assign a worker after going through. If they find out that, okay, this person qualifies, they assign a worker that works with them. At that point, we don't have anything to do. The only thing we do in DBNC to follow up is when you're expecting your worker to get in touch with you, your worker is not getting, so I call with you with the client in attendance, because they want to speak, except the client gives consent that they can speak to me. If not, I will connect them back when I make that calls, so they speak with them and tell them, okay, this is where your application is still in process, or it's not in process, or it's been disqualified. They tell them, so they know.
Well, that's good that you're able to do that, because I know
Yeah.
sometimes it helps to have DBNC to be able to call with the other person
Yeah.
to get a response.
Yeah.
But you're saying
Yeah.
like the wait times are just
Yeah.
they
The
just
wait time.
seem like
We
so
have
so stressful.
yeah, I think they have thousands of applications, thousands, you know, and you know how long it will take to get to some people, I don't know. So if there are more houses, you know, government houses or builders are building, people can get into housing. A lot of people don't even want to wait for the subsidized housing if the money they are making is able to pay for a place. People want to pay. But look at it. Look at downtown Toronto now. They are demolishing old houses, converting them to condos, one room, one bedroom for like 4,000. How do you
Yeah,
expect? How do you
that's a lot
expect?
of money.
Thank you. How do you expect
Yeah,
people? Someone said I watched a documentary where, the lady was saying, in few years nobody will be able to live in downtown. because they bring down old buildings, build new ones, and give them out at ridiculous prices. And people are moving out. Most of those houses, if you look on those lakeshore, they are empty. Nobody is in there. So, and now Peel is closer to Toronto. Everybody's moving back here. So it's like back and forth, you know. So I don't know. I don't know the kind of solution, the magic the government will put in place to help solve this problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot because it seems like, okay, well, like there's, build more houses, but it seems like, okay, they're building more places, but now they're charging
Yeah,
like insane amount of rent. It's like that.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Land-
not an easy situation for sure.
Landlords and have to have compassion on tenants. I know I don't blame them because they pay crazy amount for their mortgage. A friend of mine was telling me how much the mortgage of their house is. I was scared, about 6,000. So I said, "Do you make 6,000 in a month?" He said no. He said no. But what happened is I have to rent out my basement. I have to rent out all the rooms, and I occupy one room. So practically in my house there is no privacy for me. I said, but even if there's no privacy for you, at least you have people housed. People are not on the street, so you're doing good. He said, but every money goes back to the mortgage. So what is it? So many people will lose their homes, and they are losing it. Banks are taking over houses because people cannot pay mortgage. A client walked to me, a senior. I want to apply for subsidized housing, senior housing. I said, where do you stay presently? He said, my house. He lives in a condo. I said, well, then why do you want to leave? He said, because I can no longer pay for my mortgage. He said his pension is about 2,150 or $2,050. Then his mortgage has risen up to 1,900. So he said if he pays the mortgage, he has to live on 150, $150, and he cannot apply. I think he's not getting the old age pension. It's only his own pension that he was getting, and I felt so bad for him, felt so bad. And when he left the office, there's this organization in charge of housing. They call it Peel Alliance to End Homelessness. We are members, so and we always have a quarterly magazine. We call it PPG. I contribute. I'm a contributor there. I had to write on seniors and housing because I felt his pain. I was like, so he said, if I don't pay, if I default in maybe 2, 3 times, I get kicked out and the bank takes over. I said, what about the money you paid in the past? He said, everything is gone. I looked like, oh God, no, no, no. So it's a big problem with the mortgage too.
Yeah, mortgages are just brutal.
So sometimes I go like, oh, thank God I'm a tenant.
Yeah.
you can imagine. Like, oh, 6,000. Where will I get that from? How much am I making? No.
Yeah, that's a lot. But now I want to shift gears to something a little bit more positive, a little less like, oh my gosh, mortgages, all this stuff. But what do you love about being at DBNC doing this kind of work?
Oh, well, I love the environment itself, the people. You know, when you, a lot of people don't understand that if you have a good team, is a great motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you work in a toxic environment, you can never put in your best because you're coming in, you're squeezing your face, frowning like, oh, I'm going again. But when you, yeah, but when you're going to a place where you're welcome with a smile from the reception, you take some time to have like 2 minutes talk. We meet with people where you are signing in, and everybody who will look forward to a good day, and get back to the office. And at the end of the day, you have your client. There's sweetest part of it is seeing that what the client has come for, you are able to find solution to it. That gives me joy so much. For example, when someone has a eviction letter, oh my tenant, they want to kick me out, and you're able to advocate and it's reversed. That's a plus. And when someone is summoned to landlord tenant board and with their consent, you participate, you are the mouthpiece, and the judgment may probably given in favor of your tenant or your client. Wow, that's good. Then also, and when people are making referral, co-workers making referral, they make the job easier for you. They already prepared the client's mind. Don't expect that we are putting you in a housing tomorrow. There is some huge crisis with housing. They already set the pace.
Right,
So
exactly.
when the client comes and you're talking, you go like, oh yeah, this person told me, this person told me. And it makes it easier. You don't have to start convincing them, thinking, oh yeah, I'll get you into housing now. Then another one is when client, the best means of advertisement is the mouth. And client now start telling other client, you have issue with housing, go to DBNC.
Right.
They will
Yeah.
solve your problem. So they start coming and they go like, yeah, my friend told me that when I come here, this, eviction letter will be reversed, that DBNC will reverse it. So whatever success the housing department is getting goes to every one of us. It goes like, oh, Dixie Block, go to Dixie Block, they will solve your problem. And I was like, well, we thank God Dixie Block is doing great. And we have reached the level that even from as far as Hotel region, they refer people to us now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the region of Bill is a common thing. Go to DBNC.
Go to DBNC.
Go to DBNC.
Exactly.
And we also have recorded so much success in partnership with other agencies, private landlords, commercial landlords, and we are part of a body, the Canadian body, working to end homelessness, and for the Peel region also. So DBS is recognized, and they appreciate the good work we are doing. Not, I think last month we had the coordinator visiting DBNC, for the good job they hear people say about us. And what I love most about my job is I like having challenges where I will have the opportunity to use my skills, all the skills, critical thinking, analytical thinking, motivational interviewing, all those, and above all, my patience. Put it in place to see how it goes, and so on. And teamwork, and you're a good teammate. You work as a good teammate too. So it's a good one. I think DBNC has impacted me positively, and I love what I'm doing because I love my job.
Yeah, that's always great to hear, and it's been great working with you too. But you're right; it is such a nice thing when you're right that when one of us has a win or a successful,
We
case
all
that we're able to solve, it helps everybody because now that word of mouth is out there that hey, DBNC is a good place you can go to. They can help you. So that's always really great to hear.
They go like, oh, they will solve your problem. There was one, she was weeping, crying at the reception. Oh, they told me if I come here, they will solve my problem. This, that. Okay, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. Take it easy. And at the end of the day, DBNC actually solved that problem. She was so excited. She came back. She gave me oh my God, DBNC. I said,
Solve the problem. Yep.
we solved the problem. Bring your problem to DBNC. We solve your problem. Yeah. So yeah, that's good. And when you work in an environment that the focus is how to find solution to people's problem, like how do I put it? Solution focus based situation. That's what we do.
Exactly.
solution, and we focus on it and find a way. And each time we refer to each other, I said the prompt action everybody takes just to find solution to one person's problem, and it's a good one, and that has put us in the limelight, and it has always been, and so that's it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I like the way you phrase that. That yeah, we are solution focused. Like we want to help you. Again, if you have any kind of issue, reach out to any of us, and we will try to help you and find that solution.
That's it.
So now, my favorite question that I love asking all of my guests:
Yeah.
if you could go back in time and talk to your 16-year-old self, what advice would you give to yourself?
So, if I should go back to my 16-year, I will advise myself that my academics took a long journey before I finally found what I have passion for. At first, I started with purchasing and supply, which till today I never purchased, also apart from purchasing food. I've never done anything in the supply and chain management. Then from there, I moved to do business administration, a degree, which was not relevant to me, but somehow the administrative aspect, organizational aspect of it, I learned in business admin. Then I went to become a chartered administrator, which I don't need, you know. Then after some years, I, I gradually was doing the humanitarian work on passion, just like that. While driving through the street, school hours, I see somebody hawking children. I will stop by like, why are your parents? Then I will take it upon myself, take me to your house. Then I go there and say, why is this child not in school? This child is supposed to be in school. So because I have this kind of stern look so serious, so they go like, oh, we should be government agents. So, and I had a relationship. I was a foot soldier for the anti-human trafficking organization in Nigeria. So with that, I go like, you want me to report you to NAFDAC now? NAPTIP? Want me to report you to NAPTIP? Oh, no, no, no. Okay. I say, what is the problem? Why is this child on the school? So if it is money single-handedly, I have trained 19 children from the street. So still, I never saw it like, I think I have a passion here. Then along the line, I started getting the invitation to the TV to come talk on this. Oh, we see what you're doing. Come. So I said, oh, I think I'm good on TV.
Right.
So I went back,
Yeah.
did mass communication, and boom, there. So we're using the TV, the radio to talk on child labor, child marriages, domestic violence, sexual abuse, and all that out of school children. And then I discovered like all these years that I had this certification, I never needed them. So if I could go back to my 16 years, I'll tell myself straight away, straight up, do mass communication or go for social work. I don't need all those.
All those other in betweens, yeah.
If you look at my resume, you can never find it there because it's of no use. Then when I came to Canada and I was in school and they were talking in class, I was like, I should have done this long ago. Why am I just doing it now? So it's best to quickly discover your passion on time, your vision, and go with it. You walk towards your goal, and not your parents just want you to do this.
Right.
It's very
Yeah.
common with my place. My grandfather used to say, oh, you talk too much, you should be a lawyer. But now, do I want to be a lawyer? No. I don't even want to go near them. Yo, you are this. Oh, you are very good with this. Go and do this. Just sit down and assume this is what you should do. And that's it. So my 16 years old, go back, I will never, never do purchasing and supply, business administration, go to become chartered. No, I will not.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice because there's a lot of times where you're not sure what your passion is and you're going to all these different places. Then you realize later, oh, I could have just been doing this thing that I
Yeah.
love from the get-go. Yeah.
You
No,
know,
that's,
even I tried working in the insurance industry, but I just, sometimes something keeps telling you that you are missing out in something. Uh, you're not doing something right. And that's what was happening to me. It just looked like I'm not happy. Then when I started doing the social work thing, not too long I got an award. I had to travel. I flew from Abuja to Lagos to go get the award. I was standing, feeling so good. Oh, wow, I made it. So the award was actually on the Advocate of the Year for Girl Child Education. I took it. Oh, God.
oh, that must have been a really good feeling. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I was so happy because then I organized a 10,000 march for the girl child. Went to, through the Ministry of Education, the school board system, because I live in the capital of Nigeria, the federal capital. So, and I was able to pull out that mammoth crowd, market women, other organizations, school children, fill the whole street. Nigeria has crowd. And who's this person? Who's this person? And media, oh, where can we meet you? Go we meet you? Yeah, this is me. So that day, some of those girls got scholarship. You have people coming out to say, okay, we'll sponsor them, we'll do this for them, and boom, that's how. I say, oh, I'll face this, and I'll never look back. Yeah. Then in Canada, because of what I experienced in securing a place, that's what pushed me actually into housing. But I started with shelter, and I really saw that, oh, my, housing is a problem. Getting a place, even being a Canadian does not say you shouldn't be homeless. When a client was telling me, I'm PR, government should find me housing. I say, huh?
Yeah.
I say, do you know indigenous people are on the street? Do you know? Do you know Canadian citizens sleep on the street? It's not that because government is not finding housing. There are no houses. You have to wake up and stop claiming I'm a PR, I'm a PR. You know, sometimes we need to be a bit blunt, tell them the truth.
Right, yeah.
Face reality. Many people have the mindset, go to Canada. Once you get there from the airport, they have housing that they will give you. And
Right,
they
that you
start,
can just,
and they
yeah.
start paying you. I said, oh, if I knew that, why didn't I just take it too? I said, that's not true. You don't just jump on the plane and you're coming to Canada government.
They'll give you a house when you land.
Yeah, so, like cutting the supply chain. Go to the route. If nobody is saying don't come, but make sure you have enough money that you can live on, that you can rent with, and all that. So that's it.
Yeah, that's really important for people to hear, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to tell them.
Yeah,
You need
exactly.
to be prepared. It's just like you want to go on vacation. You can't just go into a place and you go like, hey, I'm on vacation. Can I have a room? And they're asking you what room.
Yeah,
You say, yeah,
exactly.
I'm a tourist. You need to give me a place to stay. It doesn't work that way. So cutting the supply chain is one of the solution to addressing homelessness, especially amongst newcomers. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. But thank you so much for being here today, Fola.
Thank
It was
you
a
for
great
having me.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think I feel like we covered a lot of ground and had a good conversation around the housing crisis and what that means. So hopefully people will find this useful. I think they will.
I pray too.
Yeah.
I pray too. I pray and I always I wish the government should, though they are having some plans in place, coming up with mass buildings. I want it to come quickly for people to at least have places. Then also the client, they don't want to spread. Not the GTA is experiencing it more. There are other places where they don't even have issues as much as it is here. It's very, very alarming. I wish they take, you can't force your own ideas on people. At the end of the day, we work with client-centered theory. So it depends on if client doesn't want to go, they don't want to go. It's their choice. So that's it. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I look forward for more.
For more? For definitely for round 2? You want to do round 2?
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
That'd be great.
By then, I'm sure we'll be coming out to say, yay, we have good news, more houses.
Yeah, exactly.
More,
Well, that's what you hope for sure.
Even at least we have people that secure housing, those that agree to move out, they got housing, affordable. Then some people still got the subsidized housing. Some also got the Canada, Ontario housing benefit. After applying, working through, they got the houses. And so we still have good success to our names.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and we'll definitely have to do round 2.